your boy KawaiiSteez, and we're here to do a lyric breakdown of I Escaped the Algorithm. So, fun fact, when I made this song, when I made this beat like, it had to have been like November of 2023, maybe. So it's a little bit of an older one. And I didn't know how to really flesh out the ideas on it until I kind of like started building it out. And I finally decided to execute it more recently. So here it is. Here's the song. I escaped the algorithm. One time for the people that need some. Two times for the homie that need one. Three times for the people that seem fun, but under the mask, the whole life just seems done. So I don't know. I just wanted to start this out. Like, I think the mindset that I had when I was thinking about this was like, I don't know, just shouting out people going through a whole bunch of different things, sometimes people need just a moment, a second, two times for the homie that needs some, or two times for the homie that need one. It's like going back, giving the homie that 1 second that I just gave to somebody else because the homies need help too, And then three times for people that seem fun but under the mask, the whole life just seems done. Is someone told me once that like people with like the most smiles have cried the most tears or something like that. So I don't know, that kind of came to mind when I was writing this part too, because there's a lot of like really cool, encouraging, strong people that's just gone through a lot, and it's hard because it's like maybe their strength came from all the bad things that happened, but I'm not necessarily sure that's a good thing. That's just more like they had to do what they had to do to survive, and they can kind of help other people. But it's like kind of sucks that they went through that anyway. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Four times for the people that need hope. Five times for the people that need rope. Six times for the people who provide, but they push it aside, but that do see the full scope. So again, like some people need hope, right? And then some people don't also need hope. They need the actual rope to help pull them out. So it's kind of just like that, kind of acknowledging the different circumstances that people are definitely going through, because it's just a array. It just ranges, And then six times there's people who provide but push it aside, but I do see the full scope. Is like there's a lot of people out there doing this work that's thankless, to help others, whether it's like parents, teachers, mentors, community workers, people who are dealing with like the brunt of a lot of the issues that we have on this planet, and not only don't get the credit for it, but kind of like push to the side for it, It kind of reminds me, funny enough, I was watching a FD Signify video talking about entertainers and how like us as entertainers who have a lot of these politically forward ideas are sometimes put on a pedestal to be like the ones solving it, or sometimes given the credit for it, right? Even like, the Kendrick Super Bowl thing about the revolution is going to be televised, blah, blah, blah. And people thinking it's going to be like a radical change, but it's like, ultimately, we're just entertainers observing the world and then speaking up about these things that we see and that we feel, and maybe giving a voice to some ideas, in the masses. But like, at the end of the day, there's people who are building the framework for change and for new things to come about in support systems. And a lot of these jobs are thankless because a lot of them are not funded by the government because they don't make profit, because corporations don't want that, So it's like those are the real people that need to be, have their flowers given to, I just make songs, even though it's important, but I try to help out where I can, but there's real leaders doing real work. So I don't know. So I just kind of think about that. But with that, 7 times for myself, who counting? No, our floors good vibes like a fountain. Bulldoze like I broke through the mountain. Ignore all the norms you expound in. So 7 times for myself, because you gotta give self-love, right? You gotta love yourself, and just do that. You gotta give yourself a pat on the back. Who's not gonna give a pat? Who's gonna pat you on your back if it's not yourself? I mean, like, my music is weird, so I had to believe in myself, and now y'all believe in me, And I force good vibes like a fountain, because fountains are. Also, don't you just like seeing fountains? What is that one fountain in Vegas? It's not the Rivera. I don't know, but we just love that. Bulldoze like I broke through the mountain. Breaking through. The mountain is like a journey. You're climbing, breaking through. then they ignore all the norms you were spouting, because there's a lot of societal norms out there that we have to break. Gender norms, patriarchy, things we think about helping our neighbors, and all these things that we're told not to do, the pull yourself away, bruise shit, like just stuff like that. All the norms that are pushed upon it, heteronormativity, anything. Just ignore them. There's no rules on this planet, for how you need to or want to be. Like, just exist and kind of just be you. Why you hating on my path like you round in? Keeping tabs on it like account ends. Green flags on it. We sprout in. Don't pass on it. We bounce in. So it's just continuing to brag about myself. Green flags, keeping tabs on me like accountants, because that's what accountants do. And keeping tabs. Green flags. So sprouting plants. And then don't pass. We bouncing. Because don't pass like basketball, then because we bouncing, we're dribbling, we're going. It's kind of like that. Switch, and I'm so over it. I know you're gonna lose control. Wind blows in so legit, and I will never quit. But I'm so over it every day. When I sway in the fray, I feel like shit. So it's kind of like, I don't know, this song kind of, I wanted to channel my inner pop bag. The hook was very much inspired by the delivery was inspired by Charlie XCX and Carly Rae Jepsen, and then so I just do the auto tune on it for Charlie stuff, and then kind of the pop girl vibes from Carly. So that's why it's the auto tune is kind of detuned, because it was kind of inner brat type stuff. I pulled from a lot of inspiration from this track, instrumental wise, even Toro, Emois, and Travis Scott, and JPEG, obviously. Just so much. So I just pulling from so many different things. So, and then the lyrics is just I'm just over so many things, even the journey of being an artist sometimes, even though you have to enjoy the journey, but sometimes just there's so much, there's so many things you have to do. I have to be my own, I'm a rapper, producer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer, my own marketer. Sometimes I make a lot of my content myself. I'm making this video by myself. I get help in other ways sometimes too, some music videos, I shot myself. So it's just so much, and it's sometimes you don't really see the fruits of that labor, because everything is so expensive and it's just hard. But I'm blessed to be doing this. Nobody for real, but I'm all that. Nobody can feel when the wall's flat. Nobody can feel when you fall flat the door, but I'm bored, and never mind, ignore that. So, I don't know, I think when I wrote this, I was just I think I was just thinking about the internet, and how things on the internet are not what you perceive, and it's duh, but we perceive a lot of these things and take it for face value, right? When you think about TikTok and influencers, or any type of influencer where someone speaks to us with so much authority, and it's who are you, So I think I was just thinking about that. So I was nobody for real, but I'm all that. So it's nobody's real through this screen, but they kind of are. But you know what I mean? Nobody's real, but it was but I'm all that, just kind of saying well, I'm real with my thoughts and my perception, and it's good to learn all this stuff. And it's nobody can feel when the wall's flat. So it's I don't know, it's kind of a metaphor for me, when you're pushed against the wall, and it's with all these ideas and all these feelings and all these things, you cannot it's just hard to feel. Sometimes, when people fail, they kind of beat themselves up. And then adore, but I'm bored, and never mind, ignore that. Is I don't know. I just kind of feel myself. I was adored for some of the things that I do, but I'm bored by doing some of those things. Also, some of those things are just being the bare minimum, being a decent human, just not that big of a deal. And then I just say, never mind, ignore that, because also thinking about that goes into a self-defeatist, or a self criticizing yourself too much. You know what I mean? So it's just let the feelings be. Just let the feelings be. Because I move with a purpose, worry but scary, keeping y'all nervous, keep it tactical when I see the light, come to my level and you would get it, fitted like you were ready, you copy that? So, yeah, I'm saying I move with a purpose, I think we all move with purposes, but I'm just saying I move with a purpose, and stating that. So yeah, so just saying that, I'm moving with the idea that I want to do. I have a vision for my music, I think at this time too, when I wrote this, because I wrote this part of the verse actually like, don't tell nobody, like a year ago. I think it was at a time when I was getting a lot of DMs from so many different like random marketer people like trying to tell me things to do, but like paying for courses, and it's like I'm just kind of have my own thing going on, and it's like, again, who are you? So I'm keeping it tactical when I see the light, and the light is like the goals that I want to achieve. So I have like a strategy for going towards that. As they come to my level, then you would get it, because you'll get it if you come to my level fitted like you were Reddit, because Reddit has threads. Not gonna lie, that's actually a callback to my homie Size 11, one of his bars on Brotherhood of the Traveling Joggers. If you haven't heard that song, definitely listen to it. He said real sick threads like it's Reddit. So I want to kind of call back on that, because that was it. That was a good line by him. Realize be very so very KawaiiSteez. Fire flash bird flames feeling like Wheezy. So it's just like some just basic wordplay, you know, just being very KawaiiSteez. Fire, cash, bird, flames, feeling like Wheezy is like cash money. So it's like, you know, Cash Money, Birdman, Lil Wayne. It's just that. My lyrical flow, slash foes and buckle down, remember, and that's right. The truth, the only time I'm right. So again, just some more lyrical wordplay, but the truth is the only time I'm right. It's kind of like a double entendre where it's like like when I'm speaking the truth, I am right, but it's the only time I'm right because I don't fuck with right wing anything. You know what I mean? So it's like the truth is the only time I am right. So it's kind of like a double meaning. Cubic Secondi, yeah, I shine bright. Snatch all the cash and I'll hold y'all tight, and I won't let none of y'all steal my light. So Cubic Secondi is like a fake, or like I think it's like a lab grown diamond. So I just think it's just funny. Like I'm like Cubic Secondi, but I shine bright. So it's almost like nurture versus nature. Like I'm raised as a diamond through this, but I was like raised to do this way, but I'm still shining bright. Because cubic zirconies, you can't really tell the difference unless someone really tests it, you know what I mean? My nigga, I'm feeling the rage, so maybe I'm ready for bedtime. My mind be flipping the page, react to the future like enzymes. So, yeah, sometimes when you're upset and angry, sometimes you just gotta go to sleep, get cranky. I have insomnia, so I get sleepy a lot, and I don't get a lot of good sleep. So sometimes I can just be cranky. So sometimes I just gotta sleep it off. Let me just get a little reset, you know? But it's hard because my mind be flipping the page. I'd be like going through so many different things and circumstances in my brain, just everything. Just my mind is just always just like running, you know what I mean? So react to the future like enzymes, because I'm allergic to everything. I'm like having an allergic reaction as we are speaking, to be honest, to the pollen, because the pollen count is high right now. So it's like react to the future like enzymes. So it's like having a bad reaction because like I'm thinking about all those things and it's like I have a bad reaction about it. Feeling down bad like it's rent time and that's life. Feeling the fortunes on this night. My mental distortions, I feel disproportions. I'm faced with contortions for the fight. So it's like, nobody wanna pay rent. I don't wanna pay rent. It takes up so much of my income. You know what I mean? And it's like, on one hand, I'm blessed to be able to pay rent and have a roof over my head. And even though my rent takes up more than half of my income, I know that's lower than the national average, if I understand correctly. But at the same time, it's like, why is that the bar? You know what I mean? Like, we're in a housing crisis, but it's just because nobody can afford to live in these things that are empty anyway because of profit. So it's just that. So when it's rent, I'm like, damn, all that money out of my pocket. So it's just kind of like that. But like I'm feeling the fortunes on this night is also like me like understanding how, you know, it could be worse, it could be better, but I'm also like trying to like also understanding where I'm at and what I have. You know what I mean? Like just that type of thing. My mental distortions, I feel disproportions. I'm fixed with contortions for the fight. Is I have a lot of mental distortions too. Like when I was first going through therapy, that was like one thing I definitely learned, because I definitely think about things in a way more negative light than I would like to. And then it feels like, I don't know, disproportionate with like how maybe I want to move or act or whatever. And I'm fixed with contortions because I'm trying to really like twist and turn my brain back to like where I want to be and need to be for myself. So it's like that, and it's for the fight, like for the internal fight. I'm over it. I really want to call it quits. Feel the burn when I turn like spits. Shit go hard like I had a list. So it's like, again, I'm over it. It's like I'm really frustrated at this point. I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm done. I want to call it quits. I just want to quits, feel the burn. And I turn like I had a spits. So it's like a spit. It's like a cooking device that turns like meat and like it kind of burns it. So it's kind of like a play on words of that. And a lot of this was like, you know, I was getting fed up with social media so much. Like, I was never really on social media like that until I really wanted to promote my music. So I understood this is just what I had to do. So it was like adjusting to that. And it's funny that now I'm like taking a step back because I kind of have things that like, you know, automated in a way, but I'm also at a more comfortable spot with it. So this song is even just about coming to terms with that and like touching grass with the most electronically song I made, electronic song, whatever. And, you know, should go hard like I had a lisp. Shout out to the people with lisp. Hey, I didn't mean no collateral, but it's like, you know, it's hard to say that with a lisp. 1 sec, let me throw my fit. Eternal, I'm masking it. My mood, I bask in it. Toxins like a basilisk. So it's like, let me throw my fit. Sometimes you just need to throw your fit. Sometimes you need to throw a fit. Get it out there. Get that cortisol out there. That's how it even works. Just, you know, throw your fit. Feel those feelings, feel those emotions. Get it out there. Because eternal, I'm masking it. So it's like, sometimes I can't throw a fit on something, you know, or it's like I'm upset at something like at a job or something. It's like I have my mask on, but it's like inside I'm like, you know, boiling. So it's like my mood, I bask in it. Toxins like a basilisk is like basking in that mood, but it's not good for you. It's toxic like a basilisk would, you know. So yes, that's I escaped the algorithm. Listen to it if you haven't. I hope you enjoyed the lyrical breakdown. Let me know what other song you want to be broken down, and yeah.